and welcome back to another Bloodlines video. And today for this video we will be doing a little character review / kind of character build, and it's actually going to be on one of my personal favorite characters, which is the Gultungs. I absolutely love the male and female Gultung. They are both really well done in my personal opinion, so we'll go ahead and we will go over them. And we'll start with my personal favorite just because I use him the most with the male Gultung for you. I primarily use him in like PvP, dungeon descent, and things like that because of how much damage he puts out and how quickly he puts it out. In my opinion, he's one of your better characters for that, but there are plenty of other characters that can do lots of damage as well. He's just my personal favorite. So let's go ahead and we will actually start with his skills today, and we will start with his passive skill. The passive skill, if you are newer to the game so you don't know this yet, the passive skill is always on the right hand side of the screen. So I will go ahead and read them for you just so you guys don't have to. So the normal attacks have a 35% chance to be critical, increasing the damage by 100% and knocking the target back for a short distance. Now, the knockback on this actually isn't as small as you would think it is. It is enough a knockback that it could actually disrupt the enemy's lineup, which is always nice to do in my opinion. So this skill is personally a bit of a toss-up at the moment, and that's only because the critical going off is kind of broken at the moment, I guess you could say. Some days it goes off, some days it doesn't. If it doesn't go off, that sucks. But if it does, and you have this skill leveled up, which is why in my opinion you should always level this up, because if this goes off, look at that right there already. Normal attacks have a 35% chance to be critical. Higher that is, if critical goes off, you have a higher chance of getting it to go off while it's working. And if you crit, that's a lot of damage, and damage is always a plus in games like this when you're fighting someone, or if you're in dungeon descent and you're trying to take out a target, or guardian defense. Like, it's just, you want damage. This is what he is meant for. He is a DPS kind of character. You want his damage. So go ahead and get that leveled up. Next, we're going to move over to his active skill. The active skill is going to be on the left hand side for you always. So this one, again, I will read for you. Fires a volley of arrows that constantly deals damage equal to 214% of strength per second to the target and all nearby enemies. That first part right there alone is enough of a reason for you to go ahead and get this one leveled up. So the skill in itself is kind of self-explanatory. More leveled up it is, more damage he does with his strength. So up his strength, up his damage output. So I'll go ahead and read the rest though. The volley of arrows also inflicts silence to all targets for 2 seconds and reduces their movement speed by 80% and attack speed by 40%. That effect will last for 3 seconds. So again, this one is a little more self-explanatory on why you should level it up. It's just a good damage output for you to everyone. This is an area kind of effect, not just one person, but he's going to hit everybody with an immense amount of damage. So go ahead and level that one up, and then we'll go ahead and move over to his last skill for you, and this is his ultimate skill. This is the one that's going to go off when his energy bar is full for you. This is the one in the middle. So this one again enters a state of bloodthirst for 7 seconds, increasing attack speed by 307% with all normal attacks causing critical damage, knocking the target back for a short distance, and healing the champion by 87% of the damage dealt. This effect cannot be removed. So a couple of things on this one and why you want this one leveled up. First off, increasing his attack speed. That means he attacks more often. The more he attacks, the more damage he puts out, and that's always great to do. Second, that heal. So based on the damage he's doing, the more he's healing himself. That is amazing. Go ahead and level this one up. That way he heals himself by quite a bit, and he also does a shit ton of damage quickly. Again, more damage he does, the quicker he heals himself. And based on my traits, which we will go over in just a second for you, I have a way for you to be able to get his ultimate to go off quicker, which is a personal plus in my mind. Not everyone runs it that way, but I like running it that way. Now, the last thing about this skill is that very last sentence there for you. It says this effect cannot be removed. It means that when he is doing this effect, when this effect has just gone off during the time that it is lasting, he cannot be affected by control effects. So he can't be silenced. And anything that is any form of a control effect in this game will not affect him during that time. And that is really nice to have. So this is another reason why you want his ultimate skill to go off more often. The more it goes off, the more he can't be affected by those kinds of things. So that is really great to have. So let's go ahead and move on over to my sweet little wolf boy's traits. And we'll go ahead and start with his clan trait, and this is going to be read from left to right. So we'll go ahead and go over his clan trait, and that is steadfast for you. So steadfast is like when he's taking his skill damage, he gains a shield that absorbs damage equal to 412% of the champion's strength, and the cooldown on that is 6 seconds. So the more strength he has, the more damage the shield can take, basically, the more protected he is. So it's always good to have this can't be taken off of him, but you can also put this on other characters. It's kind of a universal trait in my opinion. It's good on a lot of characters. I wouldn't recommend it on all of them, but I would actually recommend this on Devala, because as much damage and high strength that Devala are, the fact that they already have a high rate of survivability, this is just going to increase that survivability for them, and the longer they survive, the more damage they put out. So it's a win-win. So this is a really nice trait, and this is a good trait you can put on other characters if you are looking for something to help them survive a little bit longer. That might be an option for you. So the next one that I'm running on him is going to be agile. So again, when I was talking about the ultimate skill earlier, this is a way to get him there quicker. I'm going to go ahead and read that for you. So the attack speed is increased by 24%. So the more they attack, the more energy they get, quicker they get to their ultimate. So not everyone is going to run agile because he already has that attack speed up, which was in his skills for you. So people don't always run this one. I run it because I want him to attack more often. So a good alternative to agile would be hexproof, and hexproof goes based off of the strength and damage for you for his attack, and that causes silence. So silencing other characters with your normal attacks is really nice because he does a lot of attacks. So all of his attacks are considered normal attack, including his ultimate. His ultimate is technically a normal attack, just a higher grade normal attack for him. So even when he's doing his ultimate, you still have the ability to potentially silence someone. So that's also a really good option to have on him. It's just not one that I run on him, but that is okay. So the next one, and this one is one that I personally think you should have on him, no matter what else you have on him. I think this needs to be on him, and that's focused for you. So when the battle starts, this increases his energy gain rate by 22%. And again, if you want him to get to his ultimate skill faster, this is something you gotta have on him. So his energy rate is already right out the gate increased. Then him attacking a lot more, boom, more energy coming in. So that's really well done. If you want him to attack more often and put out a lot more damage, go ahead and put focused on him. This is something in my opinion, that you have to have on your male Gultung. Next, the last two traits I have on him are brutal and fierce. These kind of go hand in hand, in my opinion, for him. So brutal increases his strength. Strength helps with his steadfast trait. So you want him to have more strength. So brutal ups that. So that's really nice. And then a lot of his skills kind of run off of his strength as well. So this is also a plus in that sense. And then fierce for you is the total damage is increased by a certain percentage depending on how you have this leveled up. And the reason why I said these work hand in hand is because at the very end of the damage calculation when he makes an attack, brutal is going to up it by whatever percent that is, and then it's going to multiply by whatever the percent is on your fierce. So that's a lot of damage depending on how you have these up, depending on how much damage he does on a normal attack anyway. That's a hell of a lot of damage. These are really good to have on him. This is how I run my male Gultung. I use him for a lot of things, really. I think he's really well rounded out in my opinion. This is the only way that I personally would set him up. So if you're looking to get better traits on him and you're not sure what to put on him, I would recommend these. If you're a newer player and don't know what to put on him and you want to make him extremely strong, again, I would recommend this. Setups you can use that work really well with him as well, the hexproof being one of them. So this is my beautiful little wolf boy here. I very much enjoy using him. I think Think Up Games did a really good job on this character as well as his female counterpart. There's some really cool things about her that I want to talk about, especially if you're looking for a way to counter Devala's. I think you might be interested in using her.